is I think last year he had a lot of penalties
Yes.
too, and that honestly is way more of a problem for me because that then it's just inexcusable. I think he was the guy. I think him and Jarrell wiped out maybe like 80 yards of Jackson Smith and Jigba receptions in that Rams game. Like JSN should have had a Rose Bowl type game in the loss to the Rams in overtime at home, and instead it was holding here, false start there, whatever And those are the guys for me. I just can't play. You could most guards if you're taking in rounds like 3 through 7, you probably aren't very good at one of the other, like run blocking or pass blocking, which is why you fell typically, which I can live with. We'll have to coach you up. That makes sense. But it's like, dude, if you're wiping away a 16-yard gain on 3rd and 11, then I just can't play you no matter what your strength or weaknesses is. So that's why I lean, I think, a little bit more towards Haynes right now. To my sleeper, though, I could see a world where maybe you just play Jalen and Olu. Jalen at center and then Olu at right guard because I think Olu
Oh,
is a
really?
really, really good pass protector. Yeah, if you just want to maximize your pass protection there, because I think Olu's really solid, man. You can see it in the one-on-ones too. Like he can hold up against Murph and Reed and Leo. Like Olu's always been good at that. So I think if push comes to shove and you really want to get your best 5 out there, Olu might end up being your best right guard.
Why would you go with Olu at right guard instead of Olu at center and Jalen at guard, where he's been playing guard and Olu's been pretty much stable at center?
Because I think that, like I said, it's getting your best 5 there. And I don't know about, I have to watch Jalen a little bit more at right guard. I think you can maybe hide your center a little better if he's lacking there. I also am not sure. The tricky thing comes with center is there's so much between the ears. Like
Uh-huh.
today, I give you an example. Remember that play Spoon had he would have sacked Darnold, and
Yeah.
Darnold like put it in the dirt. So the line slid the protection to the left because that's where it looked like Jay Love and some other guys are coming from. They all dropped out. Spoon comes from the weak side, boom, wide open. And I remember thinking, I was writing down in my notes, I was like, whose fault is that? I think Olu was the center. I'm like, did Olu put the protection the wrong way? Was that Sam? Without that knowledge, sometimes it can get tricky about who should be the center. Because like if that was an Olu thing, like that's a problem. That was a 3rd down snap. If you did the wrong thing, you just got your quarterback smacked, on a blitz. But I know Olu can block. So I'm like, if you can't get that part consistently of the cerebral thing, I know at the end of the day I can just throw you over there at right guard and you'll hold up.
Interesting. Interesting. Like that would be a surprise. That would definitely be a surprise from my perspective. I don't see Olu's body type as a guard, but I will say you're right. He has done a better job this year of holding up to strength, like power rushes. I think that was something he wasn't showing as much previous years, but I think he's done better. Uh, I don't know, man. Haynes has not shown it for me so far. So Rob, you talked about this potential of, is there a Connor Williams sitting out there that could be coming in at right guard? And sure enough, yesterday, or maybe it was this morning, I can't even remember. So many different shows we've been doing, but Will Hernandez announces on Instagram that he has been medically cleared from his ACL injury. Started for the Cardinals last year, was I don't know if he gave up a sack. I think he maybe did not give up a sack all year. Maybe not a great fit for a wide zone scheme, but certainly seems like he would raise the floor a little bit. Are you biting it all on Will Hernandez?
I think it's really going to come down to what they feel is most important and whether that is someone who can just execute the scheme at a reasonable level and maybe do what Mike was saying there and just not give the stupid holding penalty away, which takes away a big pass on 3rd down. They don't need somebody who's necessarily going to be elite there. They need someone who can hold down that position. And if they don't think there's anybody on this roster that can do that, they have to go and see what else is out there. Hernandez has played a lot of football, and I suppose in situations like this, you do kind of have to think, will he provide a base level of performance that will allow you just to get through the season and not be a liability? Because it's over the years, it's been having liabilities at key positions on the offensive line, which has cost Seattle. So if he can be competent, I'd be interested, and I'd be interested in any other offensive lineman who can be competent, safe, do what he's supposed to do. But with this scheme, and because what we know about the zone blocking scheme, and they like certain types of player, and they are looking for players to get on the move and get to the second level, can Hernandez do that? If he can't, he's probably not going to work in this system. So I think that's certainly one for the staff to work out. The last thing we all want is to be sat watching a team in week 3 that can't block on key downs or can't get a yard on 3rd and 1. So they've got to work out what's the best way to deliver on that, because we just want a functioning O-line when the game's on the